Hey, welcome to the guide. I'm Yo, and here's the new improved Will.
Hey, everybody.
Wow. I know, it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Well, I figure it's the windy season, so
Yeah.
I had to get a little more aerodynamic.
Yeah, here in New Mexico, yes, you do need to be aerodynamic because it's windy. We're here to talk about Ghost Recon. Just came out recently for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and so on and so forth.
Right on.
And different type of shooter. You know, shooter fans are thinking, you know, I'm kind of worn out on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And the new stuff for Battlefield hasn't come out yet. I have an itchy trigger finger. Maybe I'll give this one a try. You know, like, what would you tell shooter fans about Ghost Recon?
I would tell them not to expect it to be anything like what they're used to with Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. I think it's a completely refreshing take on a shooter game, and I'm
100%
so
agree.
glad that it came out.
Yeah, like, here's what's refreshing about it. It's a little more methodical. You have to be a little more thoughtful about how you approach things, and it gives you a chance to be strategic in how you go
Yeah.
about things. Now, some people might be thinking, well, that sounds like slow and boring. It's not. Like, it's intense. And one of the things I appreciated most about, especially the campaign, it's so well paced.
Yes.
Yes, you have stealth missions. Yes, you have stealth missions where if you get detected, it's game over. But those stealth missions often flow into just all-out chaos, which then flows into maybe like a vehicle on rail sequence, which then flows back into a quieter moment, which then flows into some more stealth, which then, you know, there was a perfect pacing for this game that I haven't seen in a shooter.
And even the computer engine for if you're playing campaign alone, you've got your crew or whatever,
and they're smart.
And yeah, they actually know how to do things, and they'll listen to you, which is, I think, a rare thing with games.
I love the fact that they call out where targets are, and they do so accurately. There are several times where they saved my bacon because they're like, enemy on the roof to the left, and you're like, oh, I didn't even see that guy. But
Thanks, guys.
They call them out. They can hold their own in a firefight. They take down guys. You know, they're smart. It's more fun to do co-op. I'm glad you got co-op as an option for the campaign missions because that makes it much more interesting to coordinate with a friend. But I'm glad the AI is smart.
And with all the different kinds of equipment and drones and weapons that are
it's
offered,
crazy.
you can do a lot. And another thing that they kind of took an idea of Gears of War was the Horde mode, which they have something called Guerrilla mode.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought that's fun, and especially on one map where a sandstorm will come up randomly, which just totally changes how that is played. But I thought that was one of the weaker multiplayer options because I think the multiplayer games they have in there are fun. The one thing I've heard from everyone who plays this multiplayer, it is the toughest multiplayer you will ever try. It is totally different from Call of Duty and Battlefield, and it is really tough. But once you get the hang of it, it's satisfying.
I think it's just because we're so conditioned with multiplayer shooter games to not really think about it.
Yeah,
you know?
no thoughts, just run and gun.
And the campaign involves strategy, and so does the multiplayer.
Yeah, you got to use your gadgets well. You got to use the cover system well. They got some cool modes, especially decoy, where there's like 3 objectives, but you don't know which one is the real objective. So you either have to attack or defend them, depending on where the enemy is moving, and that gives like a really unique ebb and flow to a multiplayer match.
Definitely.
Lot of fun. And then, you know, the thing I was thinking about what we can apply spiritually is here. One of the things they did in this game is they gave more personality to the ghosts. You know, you kind of got into their personal lives a little bit.
Yeah, you did.
Kind of borrowing from Bad Company, just giving them a little more character and trying to get you. It didn't always succeed because the facial animations and some stuff sometimes was kind of not that great.
But still, they provide somewhat of a backstory for the characters where you can connect.
They make them feel like human beings.
Yeah, you can connect with them on some kind of level.
Right, exactly. But you really get the sense of them as being a team, a band of brothers, you might say.
Yeah.
That they are really there to get each other's backs. And you feel that camaraderie among the characters. And I was thinking about how we as Christians, there's no such thing as a lone Christian.
No.
We can't run out and go run and gun on our own and expect to be successful. We need the support of our brothers and sisters in Christ so that they can be there to get our back, to pick us up when we're down, to encourage us when we're having a hard time, to help us achieve a greater standard of holiness. You know, we need that, and without it, we will fail. You will fail in Ghost Recon without a good team. You will fail as a Christian without a good team. What would you give Ghost Recon after you had a chance to play through some of it?
I'm going to go with a 6 out of 7.
All right. All right. I'd probably give it a 5 out of 7 because there are some technical issues.
Yeah.
Every now and then the pathfinding for the AI doesn't work out too well, so I'm waiting to do a breach. And one guy can't find his way to where he's supposed to be, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting. And then I just like reset from the last checkpoint.
Yeah.
That fixes it. And like I said, some of the animations are a little stiff and don't work. Some of the graphics, like, there's times where it looks kind of like the bad levels from Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And there's moments where it looks like the best levels from Battlefield.
Yeah, the appearance, the graphics are definitely kind of washy a little bit.
They're inconsistent.
But I had to base my rating more so on just the new take of the shooter
Right.
and the refreshing strategies, and it's something different. It may not look as clean as Battlefield.
It needed a little more polish.
But I still think it's you're gonna get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I had so much fun with it. I would give it a 5 out of 7, not because it's not a great game, but because there are those technical issues.
Right.
And again, it's a mature rated game, so there's lots of language that's tossed about in there.
It's a war game.
It's a war game. You should expect that by now.
Yeah.
It's not very, gory. If anyone's concerned about being a gory shooter, it's really not. But it is a lot of fun. I have enjoyed it so much. Like you said at the beginning, it is a refreshing change of pace for shooter fans, and it's kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah, it seems like it's not getting a whole lot of attention.
But you need to check it out. If you're a shooter fan, do not miss Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I think you'll enjoy it. We talk a lot more about the game in our full written review at our website.
Yeah, go to gameandmovieguide.com, or you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/gameandmovieguide.
And yeah, go enjoy yourself. Be a ghost.
All right.